Well, hello people, welcome to the next Senpai. It will become the best formula where anime betrayals and revenge storylines can be compelling, exploring loyalty, trust, and justice themes. This anime will release and confirmed in 2023, and what has been revealed so far has us excited to come. Make sure you don't miss it this list or check back for updates. Keeping watching this video and stay awesome. Let's go! Oshi no Ko. Going into the anime as an avid fan of the manga, I had very high expectations for the anime, and I can safely say that the anime completely and entirely outdid all of my hopes and expectations. Following the story of medical Dr. Goro Amamiya is tasked with helping deliver in pregnant women of Ai Hashino, a member of the idol group, Bikamachi. He developed a fascination with her, even though without the knowledge of the general public. However, the night of Ai's delivery, he is murdered by a mysterious man and is reincarnated as Aquamarine Hashino, Ai's son, retaining his memories of his previous life. Aqua's fraternal twin, Ruby Hashino, is also a reincarnation, though she refuses to admit her original identity as one of Goro's patients. Aqua also enjoyed a privileged life and lived luxuriously due to being a child of a famous idol, even to know the ins and outs about the dark side of the idols group. 4 years later, Ai is murdered by an obsessive fan who later commits suicide. This event would fundamentally change the whole story, turns into an intense mystery. However, Aqua pieces together that the murderer are accomplices of the biological father. He swore do anything to find whoever was behind the tragedy and kill for revenge with his own hands. Hell's Paradise. As befitting his alias and reputation, Gabimaru the Hollow is part of an elite ninja of the Iwagakure village. He known for being cold and emotionless, captured during an assassination mission. His village betrayed him when he wanting to abandon his role as a murderer and living a peaceful life with his wife. However, no method of execution works on killing him due to his superhuman body, and the seemingly apathetic Gabimaru refuses to admit it. Yamada Asaemon Sajiri, a famous executioner, sees the opportunity and proposes Gabimaru as one chance to see his wife again. He and another dead vow to be part of the expedition team by finding the elixir of life on a mysterious island called Divine Paradise, in exchange for a pardon for their past crimes, an opportunity to be freedom by shogunate. Gabimaru later committed the same action with his fellow convicts, but there will be a seemingly unpredictable turns in just few mere hours, and everyone has the potential to become a traitor. The fearsome beasts that roam the island, devouring or killing anyone they encounter, and might not be fully prepared to handle them. The Kingdoms of Ruin. Set a story in a world where genocide is carried out on witches. Use this as a reminder because we can watch the anime adapted from this manga in the fall of 2023. For hundreds of years, humanity flourished through the power of magic and lived comfortably side by side with gifted, from witches to aid humanity. But times have changed in revolutionary technology. The scientific gear expansion has made both magic and witches obsolete. Emperor Gerda of Rhedia waged wholesale war to liberate humanity from the blight of magic, and began a ruthless hunt to exterminate all witches are seen as threat. Survive in any way they can, the final feather in his cap was the brutal killing of Chloe in front of her adopted son, Adonis. In witnessing her sacrifice, Adonis swears to become the Wizard of Vengeance. By this furious wizard's power, blood will flow to all humankind as declared there is a genocide going on. Ning and Fushin, adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world. The story of 4 rebellious warriors who have experienced betrayal and hardship. They band together to give restlessness to society. They were brought together at a bar, only to sit at the same table, with attendees from veteran adventurer Nick, Mage Tiana, Cleric Sam, and Half-Dragon Curran are timed to starting to know each other. They pour all the angst and heartbreak. While their stories are utterly different, one common thread is betrayal. The 4 have developed a deep-seated distrust of humanity. Finally, I found the same solution. They decided to form a profitable adventure party called Survivors, which they took as an inspiration for surviving through their most challenging times. These disillusioned adventurers do not know that they will one day save the world from unfathomable peril. At the same time, they learn to deepen the contents of each other's thoughts, and come back more powerful to repair their reputation in society. Chillin' in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. Daryl has been a dedicated soldier in the Demon King's army. He was fired out of the blue with the pretense of being bottom lowest ranks and lacking magical potential. After the throne of the Demon King was passed down to his son, Daryl was considered a disgrace, and the Demon Lord's son wanted to make a revolution of the new Demon King army regime, where someone who can't use magic is unneeded. Having nowhere to go, Daryl sets out into the world when he saves the human girl Marika from jungle monsters, and as a way to express gratitude is invited to her village. As a former warrior of the Demon King, he had to blend in with the humans who were part of his enemy and try to hide his true identity. Starting a career as an adventurer, he possessed potential that far outweighs even heroes. Daryl may soon find himself involved in the humans and demons' seemingly never-ending conflict, facing the race he once considered allies. At the same time, things become worse in the demon army due to Daryl's absence. The reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. Despite standing at the zenith as the strongest exorcist, Haruyoshi Kuga is betrayed by jealous members of the imperial court, which leads to his demise at the hands of those who envied his might. As he draws his last breath, he casts a spell that allows him to reincarnate and swears to become more cunning, hoping that all his efforts will prove helpful in his next life. He is soon reborn in another world as Saga Lamporg, which is the world that prides itself on magic status. He decided to keep his powers a secret from others in order to not be discovered, and tried being newbie person who simulated magical power with exorcist technique. Carrying on from his past life, Saga can wield power, including summoning demon servant, wielding shikigami, and applying and removing curses. During his previous lifetime, he was killed by fears of being too powerful. That's why he needed someone who'd become the strongest in another world and stay behind him as the prophesied hero. Kamikatsu, working for God in a godless world. Warabe Yukito, the son of extremist cult, died during subjected of sacrifice while undergo the binding ritual. Because his father is the founder of a cult, Yukito spends his days in darkness without making any friends. After that, he gets reincarnated into another world where religion doesn't exist and without the concept of gods. But even then, all must be adapted. They lived happily that this ideal world for him when to be compared to his previous life. The brief peace faded out of the blue. He finds something wrong in this world where your own life and death is decided by the government. Eventually, the villagers of Outcast was branded as abnormal, who lack the sense of fearing death or don't fit the country's culture, are executed by lifetime system. The main character desperately tries to help the villagers and overthrow the darkness system. The Great Purification Prayer, he succeeded in summoning Mitama, the god of the cult, comes to their world and revives of those who have gone astray. In response, Yukito resumed gathering followers to make Mitama a real god, becomes the supreme operational leader and final decision-making manager. To Your Eternity Season 2. The story following of the immortal being, Fushi, as he encounters humanity after decades of self-exile. Fushi promises to help everyone achieve their dreams, and opens up about his desire to spread his consciousness to fight the Not Curse, and preserve all matters in the world of peace. The existence of Fushi is already known by many people, with various kinds of responses from them. Some regard him as a hero, and some try to approach him to gain benefit from the power of immortality he has. Fushi is uneasy about the impact, and things especially get complicated when Fushi can unknowingly revive dead people, which causes him to be considered a demon who serves under the devil. Fushi meets a few essential allies, including new and old pals. As the fight with the Not Curse only adds to Fushi's loss, he must find the courage to confront his impending sorrow, with his awakened hidden abilities as the connection of a living root creature. Bungo Stray Dogs, Season 4. The conflict started 1 month after the cannibalism incident. The Decay of Angels, a 5 Deadly Omen association, possesses a single page from the Supernatural book. By utilizing the abilities of the book, these criminals can change reality according to the scenario they want. Although forewarned of the trap, the agency continues its pursuit of the criminals, only to end up framed for the crime themselves. The final target of the Decay of the Angel explains that they have a penultimate goal of eliminating the country, which they operate on by writing on both sides of the page. Branded as wanted terrorists and fugitives by hunting dogs, the remaining members must find a way to prove their innocence, even if they must turn to sworn enemies for assistance. For the first time, the Port Mafia and the Armed Detective Agency are facing a threat from a highly unpredictable force outside their control. As the world takes notice of recent events, the agency must be revealing the truth and repair their reputation, which is to be preceded by eliminating the country. Vinland Saga, Season 2. Mappa produces the second season of the Vinland Saga, but the series retained its primary production staff from the previous season. A few years after the first season's events, the season primarily focuses on an enslaved person from England named Einar as he meets the protagonist, Thorfinn. They are bought by Kettle, a significant landowner, to work on his large farm in southern Denmark. Einar rails against senseless war and violence. At the same time, the main character is playing a lot of emotion in this season, where he is confronted by images from his violent past and the countless people he has killed. Trying to get up and move on from his past, Thorfinn gradually develops to forgive himself and acknowledges Einar as a friend. As Einar and Thorfinn work together toward their freedom, Knut prepares to dominate Kettle's farm with over 100 armies, including Floki's Jomsvikings. It means there is still a struggle for power within the country, which begins a moment to stir some buried anger in Thorfinn.